Wisconsin, the alcohol trunk state.
Yeah, it's true.
If you're from Wisconsin, tell me this isn't true.
But yeah, motherfucker's fingers were unbelievably pruny. I don't know how it could have happened. All this energy and you're soaking wet and mildly erect, and it's just like, I don't want to sit in this bar.
Mildly.
I mean,
Mine hurt.
mine still hurts.
Bum 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 ba da dun 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 dun.
Hey kids, it's the Dapper Dads.
It is the Dapper Dads, and guess what, kids? We successfully survived Brockhampton.
Yes, months in the making.
Barely.
If you
If you
don't
were
like
there.
Brockhampton, then this might not be your episode. 'Cause
No.
this is gonna get intense.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty extensive overall review of the day, and then the concert itself, which we obviously are going to have a lot of opinions about, which you're just going to have to fucking listen to if you like the show.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
Because you can't turn it off. You're invested now.
Yeah, what episode are we on right now?
Oh, 29.
29. For real. Wow. Man, yeah, it's getting deep in there, man. If you are 29 episodes deep into this, you pretty much know what you're getting at this point. If this is your first time hopping in with us, we are the Dapper Dads. Welcome. I'm Fast Finger Slim.
I'm Drama.
And together, every week, we get together and we shout our opinions into this microphone to bring you some of the best top quality entertainment from the best podcast on earth.
Yes, true. And you can fucking do everything with us at www.thedapperdads.com. I'm just not even going to get into it. Just go to it. dapperdadspodcast@gmail.com.
That's how low energy we are today.
There's just, I feel like every time we're like, we're just repeating the shit.
Yeah.
And then I know we do like get a new listener every episode probably.
Yeah.
And yeah, just go to shit, man. Come on, bud.
Just go to the website. Hit us up at our phone number, 402-732-7737. For those of you who like the stylistic, that is 4027-DAPPER, if you're going to be typing that out on your grandma's flip phone.
Mm-hmm. Submit anything to us from any of those ways. You can submit completely anonymously on the website. Otherwise, email, phone number, Twitter
you
at
can't even
Dapper
sound
Dads.
like you're trying today.
Man, and I got 4 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
I woke up very chipper.
Mm-hmm.
I was real on point. And then we should have done this earlier.
I would say it was that laying around that did it too.
I didn't even lay around. I think it was the drive here. I was just like, motherfucker.
Because it was all the driving yesterday. And then, just being on the road that much, you just don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, and it just, I was killing it earlier. We should have scheduled this earlier.
Yeah.
We should have done it when I was taking you home at 5 a.m. We should have just popped in a quick episode.
Can you imagine if we did?
With my maniacal ramblings when I had truly lost
the
touch
things
with
I heard
myself.
out of you at 5:30 in the morning should not have been on the show. In fact, if they were, it would have had to been the $40,000 episode.
Did we?
That we
I
had
feel
to
like
put
I
out.
said that last night. Like, this is the $40,000 episode.
Secretly,
right
I
now.
was recording you on my phone. So if you are trying to get that $40,000 episode,
I don't think I said anything I wouldn't say for $40,000.
Yeah, true. So go ahead and hit us up at dapperdadspodcast@gmail.com if you want that $40,000 episode. We can get you the PayPal link.
Buy out the plug on PayPal. Dapper Dads on Twitter. It's sexy over
It's
there.
blowing
on Twitter.
up, man. It's getting beautiful.
It's getting nasty, dirty, everything you want.
Really shaping out.
In a timeline from us at Dapper Dads Podcast on Instagram. There'll be some pictures from the things we're about to talk about.
Oh, absolutely.
A lot of shit. But yeah, we were in Milwaukee, which also I want to start with this. So you said you've never been to Madison or Milwaukee.
No, sir.
So then I was like, have you ever even been to Wisconsin? Because I feel like Madison, Milwaukee, Wisconsin Dells, that's like the three.
The three big, yeah.
Yeah, that's like all in.
Okay, so
I've no offense to the rest of Wisconsin.
I've been to Wisconsin. I've been to Janesville. I've been to Beloit. Just like a couple of times, never anything serious. I have family on my mom's side that lives up in Wisconsin, and when we were younger, we used to go to like family reunions up there and stuff like that, but I can't remember the town or the city or anything like that, because like I was a kid and that shit didn't matter.
Yeah.
So I know I've been in Wisconsin and done stuff in Wisconsin. I just can't recall any time I've personally been to Madison or Milwaukee.
But then when I fucking asked you if you've ever been to Wisconsin yesterday, you said basically what you just said. But then there was something I was like, you said something else that you've never done that was shocking. Do you remember what it was?
I don't know. I feel like with you guys, like there's things that I have done and things that I haven't done, and then like the things I don't do are just like mind blowing to you guys. So I don't recall what it was.
I know. There's a lot. What do you have anything that you're like I've never been on an airplane, and when I say that, people are like,
I've been on an airplane.
Yeah, but what is your like? That's my go-to when people are like never have I ever's and shit. Like when you say shit like I've never been on an airplane, people are like, what? How have you lived your life without flying in the sky in this?
I mean, I've only flown once, and that was a back and forth trip from Florida. Like that wasn't like anything.
Yeah, but do you have anything that you tell people and they're just like, what? You've never done that?
Well, apparently I do. I didn't think I did
that's what
until
I mean,
started
because I know
hanging out with you
there
guys.
was something yesterday that I was like, well, this is the crazy. Because then I was like, God, the next thing you're gonna tell me is you've never drank beer while we were drinking a beer together.
Okay, because it's when we were sitting there. Well, let's get into this.
Both of the microphones at once.
Okay, let's get into it. So we got into Milwaukee yesterday, probably about 1-2 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Hit up the PBR Castle,
Yeah.
which is the official name of it.
It was the old brewery, but they don't actually brew beer there anymore. They do tours, and they have a fantastic gift shop.
Oh man, if you want anything,
literally anything PBR.
It
I was
is in
like,
there.
I'd been to the gift shop, and it's gotten even better. Like they had like Bluetooth speakers, jump drives,
earplugs,
yeah,
stickers,
earplugs,
bumper stickers, old taps that you
shirts,
could buy for your bars at home. Like they literally had everything.
golf equipment, if the amount of shit.
If you want something with PBR on it, it can happen. If you're watching the video today, which y'all should be doing on YouTube anyway, you can see a fantastic PBR shirt that he picked up. Damn. I know I fucked up.
Yep.
It's because we spent too much time together yesterday.
Yeah, we should definitely spend less time together.
No fucking kidding. Tell me about it.
I thought you were going to say no, but of course.
No, please. I've been begging for space, but you just won't give it to me. What are you going to do? We run a brand. God, I can't remember what it was because you were like, I was like, yeah, this city is great. I was like, I feel like this is a very German city because like it just has a very German feel to it. Very German-esque looking people there walking around, you know. Huge emphasis on beer in the city, so it's like
I think Milwaukee has the most bars per capita.
Does it really?
I think so.
Man, it doesn't surprise me because pretty much everywhere we drove, I just saw bar.
Yeah, which is crazy because I feel like Madison and like I said yesterday, I've never really been in. I know 2 areas of Milwaukee, and it was the 2 areas we were in, which are pretty close to each other. So it's just one larger area, and I don't even know half of that. So I stay pretty much to one spot. So I don't really know Milwaukee, but I feel like I've been to other places where I see more bars. Like in Madison, you'll see. Today, when you're listening to this, we're in Madison. So get at us again. We had a couple people get at us when we were at Brockhampton. I replied on Twitter. A few came in way later, and I did not reply because I was in a different planet.
Yeah,
which we'll get into.
Yeah,
and my phone didn't have signal a lot. It caused a lot of
issues.
Confusion.
Yeah.
But yeah, when like State Street on Madison is like bar, and then like shops in between, but like a lot of bars.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently Milwaukee, Wisconsin in general, like they just wake up and start drinking. It's a beautiful.
They're professionals up there.
They are.
I mean, God bless them. They're really people to look up to.
I did a Jello shot recently at a bar because I was just like, you don't see them a lot, and I always forget what it's like to do a Jello shot because as an adult, you just don't do a lot of Jello shots.
Right, yeah.
The majority of Jello shots I've done have been out of trunks in Wisconsin.
Nice.
Like people are just like, you want to do a Jello shot? And I'm like, sure. And they're like, all right, come to my trunk. And then
they just like have a ton of them in their trunk.
Or like I've ran into people that I know on the street in Madison at like 3 a.m. They're like, you want to drink beers out of my trunk? It's a trunk.
It's a thing, yeah.
Alcohol trunk city, and it's nice. Sometimes you just want to pop open a trunk and
Wisconsin, the alcohol trunk state.
Yeah, it's true.
If you're from Wisconsin, tell me this isn't true.
Yeah, if you're from Wisconsin right now, you're probably drinking a beer out of your trunk.
Probably. If you're listening to this show, you're probably drinking a beer while you're listening.
I would hope so.
That's our goal.
So yes, get at us. Madison is gonna be, I don't know, I want to say crazier overall.
But last night was ooh, we
were at the Pabst Castle. We all copped some items. Well,
cop some merch.
Matt the God. Obviously, it was the Dad Squad, so shout out Young Card and Matt the God.
Yes.
That was this sexy foursome that went. And then we went into the tiny little bar area at this place, and we each got a Pabst. Again, Matt did. He's just going to be the outsider of everything. We got Pabst, which we were gifted the bottom of the barrel Pabst. The guy was like, "Oh, kegs tapped. I'll give it to you for free."
We were gifted several things.
Yeah, I was gifted disease. Yeah, full scholar stares off in the distance. Yeah, I was gifted. But yeah, so we got a free beer, which, like I said, It was horrible, but it really made those other ones delicious.
Oh, yeah, you weren't kidding
Yeah.
because, man, that first couple of chugs, you're like, ugh.
Yeah.
At least he was kind enough to let us know it was bottom of the barrel and not to charge us for it.
Yeah, and then I thought he like didn't make it clear at first that he wasn't going to charge us, and I was like, I'm not going to pay for that. And then he was like, it's free, obviously, and I'm like, all right, I'll drink a free beer even if it tastes like garbage. And then it's like a very, very small, intimate little bar area with a fire, an actual fireplace. Not like the bar was on fire.
No.
That would have been tight.
Nice and warm and woodsy in there.
A little too warm. Nice smell. There was a woman that was clearly working there that was just real loud on her fucking phone.
Like, we're just trying to sit there quietly, enjoy a beer and some pretzels.
She's
and
like setting up. I think they do a lot of weddings there. I've seen pictures.
Yeah.
They look real nice. But then she seemed like a bitch after she got off the phone. Like, oh,
yeah, don't
I'm
they
just doing my job loudly.
Doesn't she have like an
patrons try
office somewhere?
Yeah, that's what I was like. This castle
Is that
doesn't
her
have a-
office?
Yeah. And then my favorite part of that was we were sitting there, and then they do tours, which I've heard since it's not an active brewery, it's not a brewery tour.
Yeah.
So what I've read online is it's more like a 45-minute PowerPoint presentation, which sounds really bad.
Yeah.
So the guy comes in, he's like, you guys mind if I bring the tour in? And it's like, yeah, of course not.
Well,
like,
what are we going to do, say no?
I own the castle. And then because when we were in the gift shop, they were asked if we were in the tour, and there was 4 people, so I'm like, it'll be a small tour. And then people just kept
A
trickling
gigantic
in.
crowd
Loud
of people. Loud, giant, half-drunk people.
And then you could tell that guy that does the tour just has those same jokes every tour. He just hits those same marks. And then you get those the one bitch laughed so crazy, it was like killing me. And then you get like those old drunk guys who are like, I also want to make jokes, but they won't be funny. So to not be in the tour and just be sitting there at a table drinking beer.
I'm interesting. I'm an old white guy.
Yeah. I was like, God, this tour is horrible and loud, and now I don't want to be here anymore.
God.
So yeah, we can definitely recommend take the Pabst tour.
Yeah, definitely take the Pabst tour.
No offense, everything else is
take
tight.
the Pabst tour, but check the group you're in before you take it, because that will change your experience.
I went I think Leinenkugel's brewery tour. I went to one time, and it was like a father and son that clearly go to every tour, so they're asking like weird, obscure questions about like the fucking equipment
brewing process
and like
and shit.
Just shit. So the tour guide was like, I don't like make the fucking. You could tell she was like super irritated.
Yeah.
And then they were like snickering at things like this beer isn't superior, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here. They also. At that
beer snobs are the worst. Can we just say that on the show?
God.
Like, I cannot
just drink a beer and shut
drink
the
a
fuck
fucking.
up.
It's a fucking
come from
beer.
someone who loves drinking beer. I love craft beers, but
a beer's a beer.
Yeah, so look at how often I drink Budweiser.
Yeah.
Then you get people who are like, you drink Budweiser, and it's like, yeah, because I know it's always gonna be there anywhere I go.
Mm-hmm.
A Budweiser or a PBR or something like that. Never gonna not be there.
Yeah.
Of all the fucking weird beers I drink, I can never fucking find.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be cheap and it's gonna be reliable.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like
just
a
like
good
us,
old
cheap
yeah.
everywhere and reliable.
Yeah, exactly. But when I went to the Leinenkugel's brewery, it was raining, and part of it is outside. Like they take you around like the old historical building, and they give you ponchos. So when we arrived, we seen the first group going. But the ponchos are all white, and they like are red over like your heart. Say Leinenkugel's real small, and the ponchos have a really pointed hood. So we pulled up, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
They should have thought that through.
Yeah, and then
Leinenkugels, who you got in your PR department? Because
it looked crazy.
It's amazing to me.
If one of them would have had a torch, I would have been like, "This is."
It's amazing to me that such
else.
a family brand of beer wouldn't. See that.
Yeah, it was like a.
If you
like
work for Leinenkugels, get at us so we can understand the person who came up with the poncho idea.
It was like a sitcom. I was like, couldn't believe it happened. And then when we went, they were like, "Do you want a poncho?" And I was like, "Absolutely not." I want no affiliation with.
I don't want to take it home with me.
I don't want
someone to
of
see
me
this in my closet.
The end of it is just them burning a cross. And it's like, all right, now it feels like you guys are.
Next time I come
weird.
over, I'm just like, we're in your room, and I'm just like looking into your closet. I'm like, what's that white?
Leinenkugel's.
Is it? Do you mind if I take a look at it?
No. It's no. It's
you were just telling me about the story with the poncho, so I just kind of wanted to see what they look like.
It's frail. I wouldn't take it out of its package.
Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and grab this and take a look at it. Then.
Will you leave?
No, you invited me here.
But yeah, so Leinenkugel's sketchy, but yeah, so I don't know about the Pabst Brewery tour, but we then immediately, like, across the street is a place called Jackson's, which I originally thought the first time I went there was like the Pabst It's a very confusing area. There's
Yeah,
a huge
it's-
Pabst sign. Everything is like affiliated with PBR, but not like just straight up PBR. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like
it's not even where they make the beer.
Yeah, it's
so
like it's like where they used to make the beer, so it's like
Yeah.
a historical thing, and they're still
it's
like
very weird.
not to say that like they're riding the coattails of it, but like
Yeah.
they're still like, hey,
I think that
beer
bar,
used
because it's
to-
like Jackson's, what is it? Jackson's Blue Ribbon Pub.
Yeah.
And it's like,
it's like, man, you
you're
guys
very
are
close.
pushing it.
Yeah, it's like if I was drinking a Pabst, and you're like, isn't that supposed to be Pabst? And I'm like, it is technically. It looks
I feel
the same.
would Pabst be PBR mixed with lean? I feel like that's what that would be.
That sounds good.
Would you drink a Pabst?
Yeah.
If someone came up to you and said, "Yo, man, would you like a Pabst?" Let's say we're at a bar and some guy's like, and you're like, Pabst, and he goes, Pabst, and you're like, sure, and he hands you a Pabst and a styrofoam glass, and it's like
A
brownish
styrofoam
purple.
glass.
Yeah,
I would be blown away by the technology there.
you know what I
First
mean? A
off.
styrofoam cup.
Yeah. Two
A-
cups?
Yeah, double cup, double
Cup stuff.
brownish purple liquid mixed together.
Do I see him? Because, like, I wouldn't drink lean from, like, someone I don't trust. Like, I wouldn't
Oh
drink
yeah,
Code
like you
anyway.
see him mixing it. You
He,
see
like,
him
pops the seal.
You see him pop the seal. You see him open up a PBR. You see him pour
Pour
them
'em
in together. You see him dropping a couple of Jolly Ranchers with some ice.
Yeah, I'd give it a whirl. Why the hell not?
Okay, good to know that if we can ever get... Okay, team.
I find that very hard to believe this would ever happen.
All right,
but-
all you Dapper Dad listeners out there, if you can bring us to Pabst, we'll drink it. It's official.
Yep. Go in your grandparents' medicine cabinet. They probably have codeine.
Do
with
not
promethazine.
encourage people.
All right, or don't do it. I don't fucking know
Oh
what you
God,
want.
we're gonna get a lawsuit slapped on us the
I
second
don't
some
think we
kid,
will.
The second some freaking kid listens to this show.
How many freaking kids are listening?
I don't know. I can't.
That's bad
specifically-
parenting.
I mean, I specifically can't tell what our demographic is. I assume it's people like
shit
us.
show.
Yeah, it is a shit show, but odds are there's probably some kids who are fucked up like we were and are like, yeah, Dapper Dad. What are you going to do if like some fucking kids are listening to
I think
this?
kids are listening to podcasts.
I don't know what kids do these days. I'm old.
Oh, I know. But yeah, we popped over to Jackson's. We were entertained prior to Jackson's, smoking a cigarette by Lawrence. Lawrence is homeless.
Yes,
This
he
is this is what he said. He goes, "Hi, I'm Lawrence. Lawrence is homeless."
Now,
Talk in
time out.
third person a lot.
This is not to insult the homeless population. This isn't to talk bad about homeless people at all. This was just our experience with it.
Yeah, he was the most entertaining homeless person I've ever met.
And the nicest.
Yeah, he was very nice. He had a very good spiel. He had it down pat.
He wasn't demanding about anything at
No.
all. He was just very like, if you can give, I appreciate
Yep.
it. If you can't, good karma to you, you know?
And he was like, I got clean jokes, I got dirty jokes, and I don't have any dirty poems, which I found odd. I feel like there's some dirty poems.
Like
Or I could
limericks.
just make a dirty
There once
poem.
was a man from Nantucket. Like,
Yeah.
there's got to be 1,000 of those.
Yeah, I feel like he could have done something.
Yeah.
But so, yeah, he proceeded to tell us several jokes, more than I wanted at a certain point.
Same. But I mean, we were just standing out there smoking a cigarette, so it's
Well,
not
I
like...
had been done with my cigarette, and I was like, this could be done at any point. But yeah,
Yeah.
he was a nice man. So he gave us a little stand up routine. It was nice.
Some jokes that we can't repeat on the air,
Yeah,
especially that first one.
Yeah, yeah. There was some. He went dirty. We got what we asked for.
What was the one joke where he said... Where it was like the Christian girls or something like that?
Oh, why do the girls love Jesus? And I said, because he's hung like this.
And he goes, shit, no, because he's hung like me.
Yeah, because I know. Yeah, that was one of them. I knew that one and the tampon one.
Yeah.
I'd heard before,
Mhm.
and I was like, those are good dirty jokes. One time I was at a party, and we had just been playing music all night, and someone's mom was there, and there was a microphone, so I grabbed it, and I was like, you guys want to hear some jokes? It's like 2:30 in the morning, and I said one that's bad. I can't remember what it is. It's pretty disgusting. And then I said the Jesus one, and this kid's mom flipped out. And I was like, all right, guys, that's all for me. Have a good night. And I turned the microphone off.
Sounds like my old stand-up back in the day.
Yeah. I think you're supposed to race here.
Just a little bit.
But, yeah, then we got some food. We got a giant pretzel.
Yeah, so
Which
definitely...
I told you guys this was a large pretzel.
It took up half the table.
Yeah, it technically took up a full table because these
Yeah.
were two tables put together.
Yeah,
so if
so
you
it
had a
took up a full
two-person table, it takes up the full table.
I'm still,
When
I'm still shitting my brains out because of this pretzel. I want you to know
Good.
that, by the way. But it was
I wanted
100%
that.
worth it.
When I told you it was the large pretzel, did it exceed your expectations?
Yes.
By a lot? Was it astonishing, would you say?
Okay,
Was it
so-
the largest pretzel you've ever come in contact with?
In person, yes.
Yes.
So, okay.
I've only seen them bigger in the moving pictures.
Only seen them on the big old movie screen when they're eating the big pretzels. Well, no, okay, so when for the video, for visual reference, I was thinking something like this, probably.
Yeah,
you
like
know?
a foot.
Yeah, like a foot circumference, probably,
Yeah.
because like a big round pretzel. Probably bring it out on like a pizza pan or something like that. I'm like big.
I've
pretzel,
had big.
you know?
I get a big pretzel in Wisconsin Dells. It's the size of a pizza and it's thick, and that's the second biggest one. That's a big pretzel.
That's a big pretzel, but this thing took up pretty much a turkey serving platter.
Yeah,
with this.
it comes out on a big tray.
Honestly, about this big.
Yeah, it's like 2 feet.
It's about a 2 foot pretzel if you're looking at it, and probably about what, 1.5 feet by 2 feet overall.
Yeah, it's
with
more.
The way it was braided
it's like a
and stuff.
rectangle of a pretzel.
It was such a large pretzel that we were able to put a basket of fries in the pretzel itself, like in the twist.
One of the 3 pockets of the pretzel. It's a big, and then they give you 1 cup of cheese. Like
how are you gonna do that? Like I also,
even last
I get
time
they
I
also
was
give
like,
you a cup of honey mustard.
Yeah,
but
I fuck that. I hated that shit.
I mean, I like the honey mustard.
Well, yeah, but like cheese and pretzel.
That's the way it's
ask me. Like
that's the way it's supposed to go.
It's like when you get 20 McNuggets and they're like, "Here's 1 sauce," and you're like,
yeah?
"No, you think so? How are you eating nuggets?
This is how you wanted this day to go? Okay."
You're just like touching the surface of the sauce with each nugget,
just like a light dab of sauce.
Yeah, I like to really coat some shit in cheese. So.
I got a hummus platter that everyone thought was disgusting.
I didn't even try it. It's just not my cup of tea.
No.
It's not my cup of hummus.
Curd got he proclaimed to be the best cheese curd he ever had in his entire life.
I was going to ask if you had them. Obviously not. They were, I had 2, very soft.
Pillowy?
Very pillowy. Like, just, yeah. I mean, I'm not crazy about cheese curds. I like to try. I probably tried a lot of the ones Curd has. Watch the video. But yeah, I've been with him for a lot of curd experiences, I feel like. And they're definitely soft and not like, sometimes I feel like cheese curds are so fucking salty or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it wasn't like that. They were very good. Overall, everyone got too much food.
Yeah.
Because he got curds, you got the hummus plate, Matt got chicken tenders and fries. You also had a side of fries and the fucking monstrous pretzel.
It was too much food.
Yeah, it was definitely too much.
And none of us had eaten that day either, and we had some beer in us, so you think we'd be able to put away a little bit more food, but that was...
It's a lot of food.
It's very much a lot.
It's a good place. Yeah, I like it. Had a good time. If you want the largest pretzel, if you think you have a bigger pretzel, send me some pictures or evidence. I want a bigger pretzel now. That's my life goal, is to just keep stepping up pretzels until there's one that's like my body.
If you can make us a pretzel the size of Drama's body.
Yes.
I don't know. How much would you pay for something like that? $100? Because we paid $15 for the one that was the size of a turkey platter. So
but that's only then I'd pay $45.
A pretzel likeness of you.
Okay, well then that's just ridiculous.
$100.
Probably.
All right, I know what you're getting for Christmas next year.
If I'm not poor. And then from there, we went over to the area by the rave. Essentially, there's 2 bars across the street from each other. One is Conway's, one is Harp and Shamrock. We went to Conway's first because we were too early to go to the Harp and Shamrock, and we had 1 beer. 1 bad beer. Mine had debris floating in it. I'm going to edit that out.
Lots of beeps in this episode. It'll be good.
Because you don't know how to shut your fucking mouth.
Hey, you're the one who told me we need to stop having filters on this shit.
Yeah, but like, you know what?
What?
It's fucking done.
Okay.
Just find someone who knows how to talk.
Will do.
Anyway, you have, because as you said, you've went to the DMV, you rectified your ID issue, but you do not have your new
I got
ID.
it today.
In
the mail.
Yeah, the next day.
Literally. The next, I think it actually came yesterday because it was the bottom piece of mail and there was a little bit more on top. So I think it probably came yesterday at probably about 1 or 2 while we were in the city. Travesty. And that's okay because during the show, my temporary ID got completely soaked and I thought we weren't going to get into that last bar because I was soaked in sweat.
Because I was... We'll get to what happened, but I wasn't in there with you guys at first. Me and Cole weren't. But, so did they question it?
Well, the dude looked at it, but everywhere I went, I had the paper one folded over my old real one, so I was like, see, this is a temp. It's Illinois. It's different.
The lady at the Conway's was like, did you get arrested or something?
Yeah, she was like, is this because you got your license taken away? And I was like, well, miss, if you lift up that flap of paper, you'll see an actual real ID underneath there.
And then that made her day. Your old ID picture made her day.
Literally.
Which is
it was
sad,
like,
no offense. It's a funny picture. I didn't get the hype, but that's a sad day.
I mean, the bar didn't seem very poppin'.
No.
For what
Last
it's
time
worth.
I was at that bar with Matt the God before, I don't fucking know.
Childish?
No, that was like a long time ago. One of the many things we've seen at the rave might have been like Prof or something. We were there, and the other old lady who was like behind the bar at other points, she's always there. The reason we used to go there was because like late at night there's a guy, and it was like a movie bar. Like he like cracks wise with you and like fucks with you a lot. It was like a literal like 80s like comedy. And then one time he was a huge dick to us, and then I've never seen him again. But the last time we were there, this old lady was behind the bar, and they were talking about how they found someone they were like related to or knew. They found him dead, decomposing in a truck in the woods. And this is at like 3:30 in the afternoon, and me and Matt were just like, wow, this is just the conversation I wanted to hear while I'm kicking back trying to relax and have a cold one. And they're like, yeah, they just found him. He was so decomposed they didn't know if it was him, and they had to like go through the dental records. And I was like, what the fuck is going on right now? So it was a little bit lighter than that. Yeah, you really changed your life with your ID picture. She took a picture of it.
She took a picture of me next to my ID.
Yeah, so that woman...
Which she then proceeded to pass to another woman across the bar, which she mentioned was the owner of the bar. If you
was it?
Yeah, if you heard me talking to her at one point. And she handed it to the owner, and the owner looks at it and goes, oh, you were just a little baby.
Yes, but she said it in the weirdest, loudest voice as we were walking
everyone's
out.
bemusement.
Holy shit. I also realized, because we were talking about middle names for some reason, and I was telling the story about how my middle name was supposed to be Conway, because it's my dad and grandpa's name, so I was supposed to be the third. And I forgot what the bar we were at was named, so I was just like, yeah, fucking Conway, what a stupid name. And then I looked, and they were all staring at me, and I was like, oh, that probably sounds weird out of context. Like, I'm just like, this bar has a stupid fucking name out of nowhere. Just like, yeah, fuck this.
Fucking typical, making us look stupid and bad everywhere we go.
And then we popped over to the Harp and Shamrock, that is a bar I can cope. Actually, I've had a couple bad times there. I don't know. It's a good place.
It wasn't like the best time. We were there by ourselves for like 2 hours.
I like that. Like, I like just if I'm with enough people, I don't want anyone else, and it's cheap and fun.
Me and Kurt whooped ass and darts.
Yeah, that got wild. We had to stop playing darts because you guys were monsters.
We can't help it. We come to win. We have that beautiful, supportive father-son thing going on. You know, I'm very encouraging to him. You know, it works.
Yeah, whatever.
There was one point where I was like, you can do it. I believe in you. And he hit the bullseye that won the game. Tell me that method doesn't work.
No, it doesn't.
I'm tired of you saying no to my opinions.
I forgot. You're just a piece of shit sometimes. Yeah. And I always say things like, yeah, that's I don't like that. And you're like, yeah, it's opposite. And I'm like, no, I can't be wrong because it's a fucking opinion.
We have a talk show. We have to do that.
God. You were getting on my fucking nerves yesterday. Before we even got with the rest of them, I picked you up and go to the mall to get a nice strawberry lemonade, and you left your fucking drink in my car. And on my drive home, it kept sliding around, and I was like, "What is that noise?"
At least it wasn't an empty cup. And then I seen it,
and I was like, "You," because I told you, I was like, "You get that out of my fucking car."
I was so out of it by the time you dropped me off. I forgot that cup was even
you were
there.
Out of it.
Yeah, we were both out of it.
I made it home.
I'm surprised I offered to let you crash on my couch, you son of a bitch.
We'll get into it, but
we already are getting into it.
No, but we gotta go chronologically.
Chronologically, yeah. Get your chromosomologically in order.
I said chronologically.
No, you said chronologically.
No, I didn't.
Like Crohn's disease.
We're gonna bleep that out. Yeah, I have Crohn's, and this is how I'm telling you. Thanks for.
I don't know. I'd just be like, I just like hit the button. I'm like,
I don't know what Crohn's disease is technically.
It's like a weird.
Something with your bones. You have dinosaur bones, dusty old bones full of green dust.
Yeah, that's exactly what.
Okay, I know.
No, it's like an intestinal thing where like part of it's like where your lower intestine doesn't function properly, and I know people who have had to get like inches removed off of it.
I got a friend who had to get his removed,
and it like fucks with the way you digest food and eat and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like it's
that sounds horrible. I don't have Crohn's disease. I hope no one listening does.
No, I hope no one does.
I hope no one has any diseases.
Same,
unless you want them.
That'd be a perfect world if no one had any diseases.
Yeah. But yeah, we were at that bar for a while, tied on a few, I'd say, just a couple.
Just a couple. It was weird because when we got there, it's like time went by really slow for the first half,
Yeah.
but then the second
Because we had
half was like
4 hours to kill.
Yeah.
We got there at around 4, and we were trying to get to the show around 8.
8. So yeah, we had a
We
couple
literally
hours to
were
go.
there for 4 hours. Not one person came in at one point, and then they turned around and they were gone, and literally no one else came in the entire time.
Until like those like ladies like
Oh yeah, there were.
15 minutes before we left.
I'm gonna be honest. When I was trying to think back today, I don't fully remember leaving the bar or the first part of the rave because I was like, "How'd we get in? We just walk in?
Okay,
Where
yeah.
were we?"
Okay, I can
Well,
fill
but hold
you
on,
in.
because the reason was also I wanted to do shots, and I got the fucking sweet hand again because I was like, "Give me a shot of Jameson." And this has happened before where I get the end of the bottle, and usually it sucks, and it's not a full shot, and they charge me. So he's like, "Oh, I can't charge you for that." And I was like, "Sweet," because I was the one who suggested doing shots,
Yeah.
and I was the only one who didn't have to pay for it.
That was a good
and it
win.
was still like, it wasn't like half of a shot. It was
That was
still
like 3/4, I'd say.
yeah, it was really close to being a full shot. So I got a free shot, and yeah, had a mixture of different drinks, and was feeling pretty toasty.
Okay, so what ended up happening was it was like 8:15, 8:20. Show started at 9 on the poster. It didn't start till like 9:20, 9:30, something
Well, yeah,
like that.
I knew that was going to take a while, but they were so confusing because they like were changing the time of the event,
Yeah.
and when doors opened, and when like it
So
was so confusing.
So the rave itself was a couple of blocks, 3-4 blocks away from the bar we were at. So we left, we went to the car, we got everything we need, we got our tickets, our cash, everything. We started walking, freezing, which is terrible because the last 2 days before were exceptional.
Nice.
We're 40s, damn near 50s, and so we're walking in about 12-degree weather in just our t-shirts. Because if you've never been to a concert at the rave, which I hadn't, so this was my first rave concert, and this is something I learned very quickly. You don't want to wear a sweater or anything in there.
No
You just want to wear
fucking
as
way.
little
Could you
clothes as
imagine?
I couldn't. Within the first two, before the show even started,
It
I
was
was like,
toasty.
thank God I'm not wearing a sweater
Yeah.
because, for reference, Brockhampton was originally in the basement, and then they were the middle room, and then they got upgraded to the ballroom, and they.
Well, they got upgraded to half of the ballroom, which is the thing they do. I don't know how that works. I've never seen it.
Yeah.
But they like cut it in half, and then they got upgraded to the entire ballroom. If you've never been to the rave, yeah, it has several different stages. The basement is such a small stage. I didn't realize that's what they were originally booked for. Like you didn't get to see it, but it is so.
Could you imagine
small.
that show in that basement?
No, I can't even express. It's like a hallway, a glorified hallway, and the stage is like sideways, so it's like very. It's very weird. I've only seen one person in it, and it was like a very small, weird, just setup.
Yeah.
And then the middle room is like decent size. I could see that. I've seen a ton of people in that one, and then the ballroom, and it's a fucking.
It's huge. It's
huge.
massive.
It's huge and glorious.
Well, so we go to walk in there. It's a couple of blocks. We get in there. There's a lot of people walking. There was a couple different shows that night going on. So obviously there was a lot going on. We were worried about standing out in the cold because if you watch the Brockhampton like Facebook story beforehand or their Snap story, they had people like camped out, like waiting to get in to see Brockhampton
in like the morning.
Which like I understand because like Brockhampton is definitely a thing you want to like come out to see.
Yeah.
But we got in surprisingly quick. We literally walked in. Just for note, walked by the Kielbasa guy, and he was playing "I'm the One" by DJ Khaled. This comes
Now
up
I
later.
remember- yeah,
it
now
comes
I
up
remember
later.
all of this,
So
yeah.
he was playing "I'm the One," and we're walking in, and we literally walked through that little winding thing, and then got to the check.
Yeah.
There were some unfortunacies at the check, which we don't need to get into, but lives were lost.
Yeah.
And so we ended up going in, tons of people. We get up, and this is my first time ever seeing the ballroom. I get up into the ballroom, and it's just just this huge open space.
Overwhelmingly big.
Overwhelmingly
at
big
first.
and beautiful.
It is beautiful.
It's such a beautiful room. We go upstairs. We went all the way up the stairs to that balcony area outside. Had a cigarette and a beer before the show. I was getting exceptionally like hyped about it because we were all just down there. I'm like, we got to get down there. I'm like, we got to get
I
closer.
know everybody kept yelling at me, and I was like, we just started smoking. Like we've got time.
I know, but like I was
I feel like
at
Matt
this
was
point.
like, let's go. And
Because we were all so hyped and so ready
I was
to just
also
get down
hyped,
there.
but I knew
So we get down in there, and there's a lot of people. Like, I'm just going to start this off. There was a lot of
the
people.
capacity for the ballroom is 4,000. I don't know if they officially sold it out, but
in
order to move it to the ballroom, I'd assume it has to be over 2,000 because I'd guess if they split it in half, that would be 2,000. So I'd say probably 3,000 people there at least. Which is a lot of people. Like,
so
it's
people
hard,
started shoving before the show even started.
Yeah.
So we got in there. It was probably like 5 to 9 when we got down there. there's some people. We were chit-chatting with people. People seemed nice. We were all together at first. And then probably at about 9:10, I want to say 9:15, people just started shoving. And when I say shoving, I mean shoving.
Well,
nothing compared to what came later.
Every
but
time because there's no openers, there's no DJ, so it's just like whatever the rave chooses to play, which I don't even remember recognizing one song. It was just like very generic, but not even that generic rap. Like those times where you just hear songs and you're like, this sounds like a movie or something, because I've never heard these songs.
Yeah.
These are just generic sounds that I've never heard before. And then, so every time...
Like stock photos, but it's stock rap songs.
That you just only can experience in those moments. And then every time the songs would stop, people just start chanting and like pushing. And it's like, that's not how it works. They're going to... Well, because I hate how people are like, if we chant enough, they come out. And it's like, no, they're sitting back there and they're waiting for their time. They're getting ready. Like, you can't do anything to bring them out sooner.
So people started shoving, and it was literally at one point before the show, it was just body next to body next to body. Like my arms were at my chest like I was in a casket. It was so tight. I was shoving people because there was several women around me who were getting crushed, and so I was like pushing, trying to not let them get crushed.
It's because people go to shows, and like I feel like that's a concert that's probably a lot of people's first concert. You know what I mean? They have a younger fan base and whatnot. People go to shows and want to get like right up front, and if you've never been to a show before, it's gonna be jarring when it happens. Because people start shoving before, and when it starts, everything goes crazy, and people like. I think people just aren't prepared for it.
It was a madhouse.
Me and Kurd got separated from you and Matt like pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Before it even started, I was looking over at you guys. And then it fucking started. Amir came out with his mask on. And like
he was setting stuff up.
Yeah, and he was doing like a thing. I had a hard time seeing it, but I'd read that he like comes out in like a mask. And
it feels surreal watching this, just because before we get into it, if you're just jumping in, we've been waiting for this for months. We've been listening to these albums.
4 months ago we bought the tickets.
We've had the tickets. We've been listening to them every day. Every time we drive around, we talk about it. We can't wait for it. Kurt got a Brockhampton tattoo, for fuck's sake. We got to put that on the page somewhere.
We're pretty serious about this.
So Amir comes out and he's setting stuff up, and he's got like the paint mask on and the jumpsuit. And he's turning on everything that's on the stage. And then there was a little middle section they had where they could like come out a little bit. And he comes out and he just stands there and he takes his mask off and he just looks around and everyone's just and then it goes boom, wow. And Boogie started. It was the most it felt like a rocket blasting off. The whole ballroom erupted. Everyone just started jumping up and down. People were shoving. The whole band ran out on stage and just, what are the rules for breakfast today? You couldn't hear them over the people at certain points. The people were so loud screaming back at them, you couldn't hear them perform. There was just people shoving and moving. I personally felt like I was in Hacksaw Ridge because I counted. I pulled 6 women out of those pits and just grabbed them like this and just walked them. At one point, there was like this very tiny little girl, and she was like, I saw her go down. She was like, please. Please get me out.
Later.
And I was like, I'm looking around, and like I feel like I had a mild panic attack at first because I wasn't ready for this.
I have panic attacks waiting.
Yeah, no,
like,
and
every time
there was points where people were shoving into me so much, like my ribs were compressed.
Breathe.
Like my ribs.
You take a breath, and then they take your breath. And now
they took it, and I was
like being constricted by a snake.
Yeah, it felt like I was being constricted at several points.
Yeah,
and so I'm trying.
Really weird. Like that's like.
There's one point I picked a girl up like this and just used my elbows to walk through people and get her out.
Yeah, like I said, people don't realize what it's going to be like. People think it's going to be like when the sad, slower songs played later and there was time to just stand, which was fucking amazing. Also, right before it started, like literally like 3 minutes before it all started, I had brought in my show shoes. I have a pair of shoes that I wear to shows. And so I'm standing there talking to Kurd, and I looked down and I was like, I never changed my shoes.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, the fucking AirTech Challenge 2s. I looked down at them and I'm like, well, there's nothing I can do now.
Yep.
And then like a minute later it started and instantly people are stepping on my shoes and I'm like, huh?
It was okay. I have Nike Airs that I wear, and they have like that big Velcro pull over the laces. I was like, these are smart. I was like, I can tuck the laces in and pull them over. Didn't matter with how much I was getting shoved around. It's like I felt like there was like girls going down and like just pulling the Velcro off my shoes and untying them.
I have my favorite thing. Well, first off, my shoe became untied. And this is out of all the things that happen, like falling down or getting pushed or anything, your shoe getting untied and then a person stepping on your lace while you're being pushed in the opposite direction
hate that.
is the worst. And then there isn't even enough room for me to fix my shoe.
So you just have to roll with it.
Yep.
You just have
and
to
then
keep going.
Finally, I was able to take my laces and tuck them under like the arch of my foot. And I was like, thank God I eventually, 7 songs in, got an opportunity to tuck these laces.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is the best like example of how fucking crazy the crowd was and how packed it was. I was wearing a short sleeve button up shirt. I looked down at one point without me doing anything. All of the buttons on my shirt had become unbuttoned and my undershirt was just out. And I was like, so there was so much pushing that, I don't know, 8 to 10 buttons were completely unbuttoned.
It was insanity. And it's like the crowd had levels to it because I kept going in and out. Like I was enjoying myself. I don't think I was just like pulling people out. There's going to be some videos out there probably of me just being there's one dude who came up to me after the show and he grabbed me and hugged me. He goes, bro, you were the most hype person I saw the whole time. You didn't stop. It was insane. I was like, can't help it, man. Brockhampton's the best band in the world. What am I supposed to do?
Well, we instantly lost Matt. For the entirety of it.
I felt so bad.
I know. I
still
was like,
feel
he's
bad.
somewhere having a bad time. But then
we'll
get to it.
Yeah, he did all right.
Another, like, they were opening up the mosh pits at points like
there was several pits in
but not just like people moshing, like they were saying like open up the pit, and then
there was people just violently running into each other. I wouldn't even call it a pit.
Too, but they when they were making the actual circles, there was a couple of those, and one of them
there was one girl, she was just kicking people. Like, okay, this pissed me off more than anything because if you go to listening to Brockhampton, you're like, some of this shit's gonna get rowdy.
Yeah, but it still got way rowdier.
It was exceptionally rowdier than I thought.
Yeah, even for like heat and stuff, I was like, wow, this is still crazy.
We'll get to heat because that was the moment I feared for my life. But no, she was like there with her boyfriend, and he was like holding her like this, and he was like holding her, and while he was holding her, she was like leaning on him and using both legs to kick at people, and she like kicked me in the back, and I turned around and I was like, you need to knock that off. I looked her right in the face and I was like, if you didn't think this is what was going to happen during this show, you should go stand in the back.
It's like when people get bumped into. I saw Chance at like a small like school festival thing in Madison, and this girl in front of me, it was like 3,000 people as well at that. So you're getting pushed. I was relatively close. I'm getting pushed in this girl. And if I'm getting pushed into a girl, I do everything to hold it back. But I only have so much. That's thousands of people behind me.
Yeah, you're
so I do everything like pushing back at them because I don't want to push into a girl.
I was the epitome of politeness. Every time I ran into somebody, I was like, I'm sorry. Yeah. So sorry.
But at that show, she turns around and starts screaming in my face. She's like, do you think you could stop? And I was like, no, I physically can't because I can't tell the thousands of people behind me to stop. And then her boyfriend started yelling at me, and I was like, I will fucking kill you in front of your stupid bitch girlfriend. Yeah. And his friend was like, you need to chill out. And I'm like, what the fuck am I? I'm being pushed into you. I was like, why don't you just go the fuck away? Or I can get in front of you, and then I can bitch when you're getting pushed into me. Because you think if I was to be removed from this equation, there wouldn't be another guy just like me being shoved into you who's probably creepier than me. Yeah. I do everything to not, like, because I don't want it to seem like I'm like, ooh, I'll take this. Yeah, I don't want to feel up
like
women.
I get embarrassed when like I get shoved and like my arm like hits a girl's hips or her butt or something. I'm like, oh God, so sorry. Please,
punch her boob really hard.
I know. Have you ever done that at a concert? Yeah, and you feel horrific about it.
I was like, I still wake up screaming from that incident.
I remember there was several points where I just got thrown into crowds of people, and I was just like, so sorry.
Well, that's what, so like, the main thing, and maybe it was this bitch, how I said my knee was fucked.
I think it was her, because I think I saw it happen to you, and I tried to like get to you, but I couldn't.
So my knee was fucked from whatever episode when I talked about skating. I fell on it. It had gotten better, and then my back was hurting. So what I do when my back hurts is just pop a pillow in between my legs when I sleep. It helps my back. So I did that Monday night, woke up Tuesday morning, and my knee hurt just as bad as the day I had hurt it. And I'm like, it's Tuesday. I need this to be like at least at like 85% because not only do I need it to be good for Brockhampton, but in 1 week we're going to Madison to Prof, and there's going to be a lot of walking. So I need this to be like at least get me through these 2 shows and then whatever. And I'd been like rubbing like icy hot on it and taking ibuprofen, literally icing it, like resting it, not doing shit. And so it was feeling pretty good. It's still kind of sore. And then at the show, someone kicked me directly in the knee. Like, literally, like someone paid someone to come in and just, they were like, fuck his knee up.
Okay.
It's the right one.
You found me. I don't know. I'm very sorry. I thought I could get away with it.
It literally seemed so targeted.
It seemed
beyond belief.
I thought that I could get away with it, but then I was like, you know what? There's 3,000 people. There's no way this is gonna happen. But they found you. I got my money's worth. It's okay.
How much did you pay?
Right. At first, I thought it was an embarrassing amount of money, but after seeing the crowd, I'm like, they earned every penny.
Well, it was one of those things where it didn't hurt super bad. It burned. It felt like my knee, like that has to be
like
what
she kicked poison into you?
She kicked a flame inside of my knee. It burned so bad, and I was like, what happened? What is that? Like, it feels like my knee
We
is
got to
on
get you
fire.
to a doctor or something,
But
man. Something's not right here.
like, it was sore, and it's still kind of sore, but I thought it was going to be fucked, and it's not at all. But then I think it was for heat, because I've been waiting for it. Because what they do, they go through a slew of bangers, then they have Bareface come out. I know this was your moment.
Yeah, I want to talk about this for a second, because it's my understanding that he's very shy. Like, he doesn't like getting out in front of people and performing.
I assume that's why he's like not out there at all until his little...
Well, during the second song, the stage was completely dark. It was just him up there singing it.
Yeah.
And then
the stage was very dark in general. Like, a lot of times I was like, it's just really dark.
But I mean, I liked that, because it's like you almost don't want too much going on back there, because you want to focus on them, you know? And he played Summer, which is one of my all-time favorite Brockhampton songs. Just a lot of emotions in that song. Sounded exactly like he does on record. Not only was I blown...
Also, Joba sounded like when he did the growing up, my teacher told me, you better get them grades up. I was like, wow, this
like
sounds
that.
incredible.
And when he did Face and stuff like that, like everything was perfect.
They all sounded like very much like the record.
Everything sounded like a record pretty much. I mean, with the exception of All the Stars, which we'll get into. And so
Star 69, that's how many times they played it.
Good Lord, they might as well.
Back in my day, it was a phone number. Nowadays, it's just a Brockhampton encore that never fucking ends.
So, his performance of Summer changed me, honestly. It was just, the guitar solo was perfect.
It was also
everything was wonderful.
Very, like I said, very much needed break.
Yeah.
Because then they come back out with Hottie, and that's even pretty chill. And then I knew Heat was coming up, and I'm like, I don't even know if I want it, because you had too much of a break, and I was like, you start to feel exhausted.
Yeah.
You're like, it's really setting in.
But I still knew those stars were coming at the end, so I know. Was like, I gotta have more energy.
I know. I knew it would come back. I just needed Heat.
So Heat comes on, and it's got that okay. Amir's just walking around. He's going, is there a lot of pissed off people?
Yeah.
And is there a lot of pissed off people in Milwaukee? And they're like, yeah. He goes, no, I need some people that are mad. I need people that are pissed off. And like everyone's like, he's like, okay, we need you to get mad. And then Heat starts. I thought it was a lot of energy when Boogie started, because everyone was just like hyped and ready. Take Boogie times 5, and that's what Heat was. Heat was literally everyone shoving each other. It didn't matter if you were a man, woman, child. It sounded like chaos. It sounded like a slaughterhouse in there while Heat was playing.
Because like I was going crazy, and there's like a little mosh pit, or just a sea of the crowd was a mosh pit at this point, but I got slammed into, and I like slammed back, and 2 people went down, and I basically tripped over them. So I fell on top of 2 people, and it was again one of those things, because you like can't get up because there's so many people, and all I could see was darkness, and I'm like, feel like you're gonna get trampled, and so I'm laying there, and then they start to pick up the 2 people I'm under, so that's raising up my legs and like my lower half, so it looks really weird, and my hat was off, and I thought it was gone, and then finally a girl picked me up. And I was like, wow, I'm surprised you were able to do that. And then I looked down, and I seen my hat on
That's how I would describe this. That's how I described the evening. Slim, what was your perception? It was crazy. I saved a bunch of girls by carrying them out of the pit. Well, I fell down and got saved by a girl.
See? So everything's full circle. But then I got picked up, and I was like, thank you. And then I looked down. I thought my hat was gone. Looked down, and it was right there. So I grabbed it, and I slammed it on my head, and I went, ah! And I turned around and looked at everyone, and they looked scared. And in the Heat crowd, I was like, you guys are scared of me?
If you're scared of you during the Heat
Because I turned around. I also turned around during Heat. Like, I got pushed, and I, like, spun around, and I looked back, and it was the chorus, which has the N-word in it, and I saw a sea of white kids screaming that chorus, and I was like, oh, this makes me feel...
The whole
because you don't get to face the crowd.
Yeah.
And then I seen it from their perspective, and I was like, this has got to be weird for them, because this makes me uncomfortable.
Okay, now, here's something we try to do. I don't know if we've talked about this a lot, but we are fans of rap music, so when we...
Just a little bit.
Just a smidge. We enjoy a peppering of Future every other day. And so we, as white guys, we edit out the N-word when we're in the car, because you actually made a very good point to me, and it's like, sometimes you do slip up when you're in the car and you're singing and stuff like that, but like you don't want to be like pulled up at a traffic light and do that, or you don't want to have like some mom with her kids in the car and
I
doing
just have
that,
friends that I know it would like make them feel uncomfortable or disappoint or offend.
And it's like I'm not a fucking racist, and like I don't want to offend any of my friends, and like I've had
you just
friends,
don't need to say it.
Well, and there's no reason for us to say it.
I also don't say the other F word anymore. You know what I mean? That's in song, even in like Brockhampton.
Yeah,
when it's like in a like certain context where it's not necessarily bad,
but still it's such a hateful connotating word that like you don't want to say.
And I don't have to say that, so I just won't say it. I'll say everything else. Those are my two bugaboos.
Those are the two big ones I won't do.
Everything else I'll say.
Everything else is fair play, fair game. Everything goes. But yeah, so I just can't even imagine what that had to be like, because I know myself during the concert was editing myself, but I could not speak for any of the white kids around me. It was can you imagine being Kevin Abstract and doing the junkie verse and looking out in the audience and seeing all those white kids screaming both the N-word and the F-word back at you like that?
Could you imagine being any like black artists
and having that happen? I mean, you got to think about all the rappers throughout the years,
and like a lot of crowds are very white, like us. That's like a lot of rap crowds. It's like a lot of white kids that are screaming the N-word at you, and it's gotta feel weird. I guess you get over it. I don't know. It's just it's a very like weird gray area that's uncomfortable.
Yeah,
but yeah, then after Heat, they had played Star earlier on during the main set.
Second song, it went Boogie and then Star.
Did it? I thought Star was third.
It was, the whole first couple of songs were a blur.
Just a mash,
it was a blur because I was saving people. I couldn't help.
But yeah, so they did the second Star, and then they did the third Star.
Then they did the fourth Star. Then they did the fifth Star, where they brought people up on stage. Anybody who had a blue face or an orange jumpsuit was allowed to be brought up on stage, until security came up and was like, no more people, and there was only like 30 people up there.
Well, the rave is like notoriously crazy in general, so I was surprised they even let that happen. During that, while people are like pushing to get through because they dress up, a woman pushed me to get through, so I turned and looked at her, and she was wearing blue eyeshadow, and I was like, "Nope, not today, bitch. This isn't gonna work. That doesn't fucking count."
Nope. So during the last couple of Stars, we had different adventures here. So what mine that happened was during Heat, I got pushed around so much that I pretty much got pushed up into the first couple rows of people right up against the bar. But everyone in the back was pushing so far that those 3 rows got condensed into one wall of meat. Yeah. So I'm just going to stand up and show this visually for the video at how my body was during the last 4 Stars. I want to say 4 or 5
just
stars.
4 stars.
I was doing the Michael Jackson lean on this thing because people were pushing behind me so far back that my body was just like this.
Yeah, this is nice. Watch the video.
With my feet flat on the ground.
Yeah, everybody that's gonna go to a concert, don't be up against the fence, the bar, whatever the fuck.
Awful.
Don't do that. You'll get bruised fucking crazy.
And honestly,
bruises.
I got close enough that I was able to like point at and scream the Star lyrics to each of them as they walk by,
They were like, this fucking
They were like, this guy. At one point,
they were all scared.
Matt jumped down into the area where they were, and he was like giving people high fives and touching them.
I thought you meant Matt the God. I was like, finally.
I know, right?
He was on stage the whole time.
But just really hanging out on the side, just chilling.
Yeah, sitting on the couch.
But then, and then Merlin came by, Amir came by, everybody came by for all the different verses. It was just a really, really good ending to be that close to them, Yeah, it was. And then while I was up there getting mashed up, being very close to Brockhampton during all these Stars, you went down and checked out the merch table at the third Star?
No, I stayed till the end of the one where everyone got on stage, which I thought was the end, because I'm like, they're all on stage. We can't possibly have any more Stars. And it even seemed like it came to a lull and other people were leaving.
Well, it went to a lull, and then they started singing the chorus for boys, like a cappella.
Yeah, that's when I walked out.
And then
I just
Star started
Yeah,
again.
well, that's what I was walking out as that happened, and I thought, I'll get ahead of the game and get to the merch table. Because everyone's up here. Now that line was still crazy long, and then I did that shit where like I walked up to the table because like you can't see the fucking post. It's terrible. Like their layout for like what merch they have, I still don't know what any of it was. Like, we never got close enough to see it.
Nah.
And I just kept seeing sold out or like only small, only medium. So I'm like, fuck this.
Yeah.
But I was doing the thing where I'm trying to see and people are yelling at me like, line starts back there. And I'm like, I fucking know. You think I'm just going to be, oops, I've been here the whole time.
Well, let me get ahead for some merch.
And then I also got a bottle of water, which at the rave is $5 for a bottle of water. And I get it, and it's at the bar, and there's a guy standing next to me, and he's doing that thing where you can tell he's going to say something to you. And I give the guy my money, and the guy next to me goes, don't tip that guy. He's a fucking piece of shit. And the bartender comes back and looks at me and gave me cash, and I didn't tip him. And then they just start screaming at each other. And I was like, I don't know what happened. I didn't mean to cause this ruckus.
Yeah.
I just needed water because I think I'm going to die.
Yeah, there was several points where I thought I was going to die.
So I abandoned that, and then I come, because I was downstairs, and I started walking back up because I heard boom, 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 and I'm like, what the fuck? Boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, really? And I expected walking up, and there's just not even audience
and you're
anymore.
Just hearing it in your head.
Or just they're still performing, and people have just like 42nd star was when everybody actually left. That's how they end. They don't end.
Security was still trying to drag them off stage, but they're like, no, we have to keep doing star.
But then I walked up and instantly, Matt the God, I was like, where the fuck have you been? And he had a great time.
Apparently, yeah.
He was
I caught him for part of the show. There was probably about a good 4 or 5 songs that we were actually together for.
I seen that.
But then I lost him again. Like, it was insanity.
Well, he was wearing a T-shirt, and then he was holding it, and he had a wife beater on, and his wife beater was so low because it just tugging, and everyone was drenched. And
my shirts were soaked.
His shirt,
he was
wet. Like, I could wring it out, and I'm like, yeah. That's why I was kind of glad that my shirt got unbuttoned, because it got real airy in there, and I was like, good job, crowd. Thanks for unbuttoning my shirt. But yes, I instantly found him, and we were talking. Also, I think it's got to be the weirdest thing. So, like, afterwards, I was like, oh, I feel bruised up, and Cole was like, oh, I lost a pack of cigarettes. Matt was like, oh, my fingers are really pruny. And I don't know if you saw them.
It looked like he was washing dishes.
Pruny.
It's like it looked like he took a bath.
I know, it looked like he just had his hands in 2 glasses of water. And
just the whole show.
Yeah, the whole
just
show.
Standing in the
and I was like, how? And he's like, people kept throwing water, and I was like, but
how did you get that wet?
They were like, even in the car afterwards when we were cooling down before we went to the next adventure.
Which
I looked at him again.
You think that would be enough adventure?
I mean, it could have been. I think we all were like, we could have ended it. Yeah, it was in my head, but I'm like, I want to keep going because I do still have like this level of energy. But yeah, motherfucker's fingers were unbelievably pruny. I don't know how it could have happened, but he made a good point of when you're like, I need water, and people just throw water like on you, and you're like, no, I need to ingest it because I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then we had to chill for a bit because everyone leaves at once, and it's a fucking nightmare. And then that was the great thing was I was like, I'm so hot. That cold weather is going to be great for like 45 seconds before it gets bad. Because the doors were open, before we even got outside, I was like, wow, it's already cold. And I would have got it Kielbasa because as we walked out, the Kielbasa guy
was still playing I'm the One by DJ
Quite
Khaled.
Possibly only song he has.
Could have been.
That guy's Kielbasas are phenomenal.
I bet they are.
If you go to the rave, he hadn't been there the last couple times I went, so I was like happy to see him. Would have got one if it wasn't so fucking cold.
Yeah.
But that is a fine street meat. I think he has hot dogs too. Well, there's a sign that says hot dogs, and it's way cheaper. I'm always like, let me get a hot dog, and he's like, out of hot dogs. Only got kielbasas. So I think he just has a hot dog sign
so
just
you
to
can
drum up business
kielbasas.
And then be like, only got kielbasas. And if you go there with a girl, he'll be like, buy your lady a kielbasa. He's like he's a really good salesman. Get his street meat. But yeah, then we stopped in the car. All of us except you changed our shirts, so it was just you and us shirtless for a minute while we all switched out of our
my
shirts.
white T-shirt wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Somehow, and I am not going to be able to ever explain this, my outside shirt was soaked, but the inside shirt was fine.
Just collected everything.
Was the force of the crowd pushing the sweat out of when they were like constricting me? Did it just get the sweat out of my inner shirt and put it on my outer shirt?
It was probably all the stars.
Yeah, sure.
Everything we can't explain is just how many times they played Star.
Yeah. It was the 7 stars.
Yeah, 7 stars. That's how many stars I would give that show. 7 out of 5.
No, I'd give it 12 out of 10. That shit was incredible.
I think every time we do fractions, we end up basically with the same fraction. You just go bigger.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's my MO.
So yeah, then we decided to go to an 80s, 90s dance party at Mad Planet. So we got there. Immediately when we got there, we pulled up. You exited the vehicle
and fell on my ass because I slipped on black ice. It was beautiful.
I just heard but this is what happened. I get out of the car, I hear a noise and like and then I hear Matt go, oh, and I turn around. You were like, you know when you fall and it's like you kind of just fall down, and when you really fall, you're just like spread out.
Yeah.
I looked over and you're just spread out on the sidewalk like you were trying to make love to it.
Wasn't trying to.
And I'm like, oh shit! And then I turn around and Cole's chewing on his shoelace. He has his shoe in his hands and he's chewing his shoelace, and I'm like. And I seen a group of people switch sides to the other sidewalk because they were like, I don't like that. Big guy went down. The other one's eating a shoe in the middle of the street. It's like 12:30.
True freedom in a town where no one knows you.
Yeah, that was the theme for the night. So then, that's why we had to catch up with you because I was like, just go in because Cole, he said his shoe got so tight.
That he
and then it was in a
it.
knot, so he was trying. But like just seeing him chew on his shoe, I was like, not sure what's going on here. So then we get in there.
He got his lip busted at the show. He's got a big fat lip. We're gonna have to put that.
It was
up
beautiful.
On the page.
That picture where it's like black and just his busted lip face.
Can we put that on the page later?
It's incredible.
Yeah.
But we got in there. I've been to this club before to see Prof, and I remember it being like spacious and like a good venue.
Mm-hmm.
It was fucking popping. I thought it was like possible that we'd get there and there'd be like 5 people.
Yeah.
And it'd be real weird and they would all be old people. Instantly I walked in and I was like, all right, yeah. They like brought my energy level back up.
Yeah, they were playing Jump Around and there was a ton of people dancing and stuff.
Yeah, when we were driving there, I was like, I'm going to need to find that energy because now it's setting in how like sore and tired I am. And then as soon as we got in there, I was like, okay. And then I had a beautiful thing because like I've said before, I drink a ton before the show and I feel like I sweat it all out.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get like one drink in me afterwards and it's like, nope, it's still in here because that's what happened at fucking Jeff Rosenstock after party when I got so drunk and I just didn't even know what to do with myself because I always think like, oh, I sweat it out. I don't feel drunk at all. And I have like one beer and I'm like, there it is. It just got right back. It's like the beer showed up in my body and met the other beer and they're like, well, let's fucking go.
Hey man, where you been? We've been waiting on you.
And so, yeah, it was a wild time because I had a different idea in my head of 80s and 90s. It was definitely way more new wave, like, and like some new wave songs are good, but I just don't know a ton of them. You know what I mean? I know the hits.
I know.
Like,
yeah, there was a couple of hits they peppered in that I liked, but overall it was like more obscure, like industrial. The first songs they had Jump Around, and then they played
Jump Around. I think it was Bust a Move.
It was Bust a Move. Yeah, and then they had a 9 Inch Nails song. And then a Nitzer Ebb song, and like those are very hard.
I don't even know that
industrial sounding bands.
And all of were the songs extended, or was I drunk and just
it was
seemed
club
like
mixes.
they were taking forever.
Because it was my understanding that back in the '80s, songs weren't more than like 3-4 minutes long. Like they didn't have like these.
There was
super
times when
long...
I was like, I think like I've heard this more than all the stars.
What was that last song they played? Like that one went on forever.
I'm not the guy. I'm not the guy to tell you. Oh, was it the one that was like boom, boom, boom?
Yeah,
that star comes on. And you're like, no.
That's how they got everybody out of the bar. They were like, okay, everybody out. Boom, 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 boom. But then
you're like, you think this is gonna drive me out? I've heard it 9 times.
But then Brockhampton came in the bar and did the song with us. Oh, that would be so nice.
But yeah, it went from that awkwardness when you go to a dance party, especially I think as guys more so, where at first you're like, what do I do? We're just going to stand in the corner and look weird, and then you just lose it all and you're just, except Matt the God's not a dancer, and that's what another part I was like, oh, he's having a bad time because he was just sitting off in the distance. But then I would be having like weird interactions with people, like that older woman I bumped into and then she started dancing with me and I was like, no thanks, and then she kept like following me around and getting back in my line of vision, and I looked at him and he was just cracking up. And yeah, it was a very interesting array of people. Yeah,
I found him at one point. He was just on the back couch by the bathroom. I was like, you good, buddy? He's like, yeah, I've been people watching for 45 minutes. This is great.
A lot of people watching. A decent group of gay men, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
But sometimes, like, if I'm drunk and then I just see 2 dudes making out, it catches me off guard.
Yeah, because
I'm all
it's
for
not
it,
something
fucking make out, but yeah, I don't see that every day. So at one point I just turned around and it was like 2 girls kissing and then 2 guys kissing, and then Cole was like, is this a gay bar? And I was like, no. And then I looked at that again and I was like, is?
Yeah, I think you took us to a gay bar last night, buddy.
And then especially because I was thinking about it, and I think I said it to all of us, because me, you, and Kurt are just going wild.
Well,
and I'm like, now we also look like a gay trio. And I kept thinking someone is going to like want a guy to hit on me, which I kind of want a guy to hit on me because I want to feel pretty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want like buy me a drink or try to dance with me.
Just flirt with me a little bit.
There was a guy, and we'll get to this, but
Yeah.
then I kept thinking like someone coming up and being like, "Is that your boyfriend?" And being like, "No, he's all yours."
I'd kill you.
I wanted to see because you've got like the bear aesthetic, and Cole's got, I guess, like the twink.
Not
aesthetic.
hairy enough to be a bear.
You're just a larger man.
Well, yeah.
You've got the large aesthetic.
More of a seal.
But there was a guy who I watched this happen, grabbed Cole's beer, and I thought he was like, I think Cole thought the same thing, where I don't know what he was doing, just like grabbed his beer, and then he took his hand and they did
And
like a
twirled with him.
yeah, it was like he was teaching him how to dance. And then the same guy caught me later when they were playing Take On Me, which that's one of the ones I can get behind.
Yeah.
And he did the dance like they do, and I'm like, I'll dance with you like this, hell yeah. And then I seen him like coming in for like a much closer dance, and I was like, no, let's just keep it at arm's
Yeah,
length.
no wonder everyone thought you were gay.
Yeah, and then I'm like, I know how ladies feel. Guys
Yeah.
can be creepy.
Guys can be very creepy. And there was a couple groups of girls there where we saw like 4 or 5 different guys like go
know.
up to them, and like that's so weird.
I seen
ugh.
a group of girls come in and like stand next to me. They had just gotten there, and then I looked away over at like you or Matt or something, and I looked back, and there was already a guy like just vultured in, and I'm like, chill out. Like guys are so
relax,
creepy,
yeah.
especially the longer it goes. Like we're all just dancing, having a good time, and you see like the scramble at like, because I think we were there until 2:30.
Yeah, we were there very late.
And you see that late night scramble, and just
It was sad.
standards drop a lot, and
Yeah.
guys are just
Desperate.
going up to anything.
I was just
saw-
having fun dancing, man. That's all
I
I,
was
cared
having
about.
a great time dancing because, like, yeah, I get weird sometimes if I'm at like Mary's place or something, and I'm like, there's so many people I know, and if I really let go, it's gonna look weird.
Right.
But when I'm like, I don't live in Milwaukee.
True freedom.
Yeah, true freedom when you don't live here.
Can't wait for Madison.
Oh, you don't even know.
Oh,
Also, my favorite thing about the dance party, middle-aged white men dancing. It's spectacular. 'Cause
A lot of things.
You think you know, but then you see it in person. You're like, God damn, you fucking middle-aged white man dancing is just...
It's a thing to be seen. It's like Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster.
You got to see it in person. Like, you see it in movies and it's funny, and then you see it in person, you're like, it's not far off.
You're like,
wow. It's all very...
I was worried people were laughing at my moves, but then I saw other people's moves, and I was like, no, I'm doing all right.
Yeah, that is one of the good things when you're like, I think everyone's a little insecure about their moves. 'Cause
Yeah.
everyone's got... So you and Kurt have dancing forms like I've never seen. Like,
We can't help it.
you guys both are like low and loose, I'd say.
Thank you.
And it's nice.
I
You get low
appreciate
to the
that.
ground, and like, yeah, it's like, yeah, definitely listeners at some point, please see Slim and Kurt dance because it's incredible. I don't have much.
Maybe they can see us dance when they come out to the Dapper night.
Yes, Dapper Dad's Drunk Decisions at CJ's Public House, no affiliation, on March 31st at 8 p.m. Come up to us and say something from the show, and if you're one of the first 2 people to do that, you get a free drink of your fucking choice.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I very much enjoyed the dance party. I'm glad we were able to
No, it
go.
was good as
They
fuck.
do that every Friday at Mad Planet, apparently. So if you're in the city, because that's the problem, like the rave, it ends at like 11. I think they have something where like every show ends at like around 11.
No,
or something.
Brockhampton went till about 11:20, 11:30.
Yeah,
or
I think
so.
it's because they just didn't stop playing Star.
Yeah.
I think they tell like them, because usually after, it wasn't bad this time, but every other show I've had, like as soon as the artist is off the stage, the lights come on and they start screaming at you to leave. Even like I'll be trying to buy merch and they're like, get the fuck out, and it's like, I'm trying to buy merch, and they're like, get it and go, and it's like, I'm trying to.
I'm
There's a line
trying.
and I can't imagine how they acted with that line for Brockhampton merch.
Oh god, they had to be just acting straight asses
They
about
like,
it.
yeah, I think it's something with like union, and they don't want to work, or like they can't have them late. I don't know. They get crazy, and shows always end. And that's the thing, is like before we went back to that bar we're at, and then it's not like pre-gaming there is great because it's chill and you're just having a good time. And then you go back and there are people and you have all this energy and you're soaking wet and mildly erect, and it's just like, I don't want to sit in this bar.
Mildly.
I mean,
Mine hurt.
mine still hurts.
it never has stopped hurting.
Mine fell off.
Ugh.
I
Mine,
unbuttoned my shirt, made my dick fall off.
mine popped off and flew around the rave ballroom like a helicopter and hit a mirror van in the face. It was embarrassing.
They never tell you that's gonna
He goes, on the black Tom Hanks.
boom. I saw that. Wasn't that?
That's why they had to play an extra star.
Yeah, that was
because-
the 14th star.
Yeah, because mine, I just got so excited by all the stars, my dick just flew off.
We have a support group for that.
We do,
Meets at
actually.
8 p.m. in room 046, room 46. The sign is weird. But yeah, so this was your first time in Milwaukee. Did it meet your expectations? Was I a good city guide again?
excellent city guide as always. I give you mad props for every time we go out and do something. You're always a spectacular planner about it.
Just wait for Madison.
I can't wait for Madison.
I know Madison like Rockford.
But no, I would, for my first experience overall, I give the city a 10 out of 10. She was a beautiful city. She was welcoming to me. She was kind. The people were nice. The food was great. The beer was plentiful. The concert was good. Everything was good. There was nothing I could complain about the whole trip. Everything was fun. Everything was fantastic.
That's good. Do you think you're ready for Madison?
No, I am not. Not at all.
Do you feel like you're going to be rested? How are you feeling today?
I don't feel terrible today. I honest God felt worse after Pew Pew Pew. I felt more beat up after Pew 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 than this. This was more a lot of shoving. This wasn't a whole lot of like fighting. I felt like it wasn't as much.
Pew Pew Pew. I feel like when there's more space, the hits have more impact. Because at like Brockhampton, when you smash into people, you can't even like get like I was running at Pew 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 and slamming into people.
Yeah,
I was doing my favorite thing when you're like right up front singing along, and then you just push backwards as hard as you can. That's my favorite move, and that's why that show was so great because it was still like a smaller crowd.
Right.
So it was so spacious because no one wanted to deal with us. I think us and the two other guys were just monsters.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one it's so tight. It's more just that like claustrophobic feeling.
Right.
Of, like,
yeah. It was just insanity. But I didn't feel. I'm feeling okay today. I slept in pretty late. I woke up at like 10 though, and I was like, I could wake up right now. I'm just gonna be really tired for the rest of the day.
Yeah, I got 4 hours of sleep. I feel surprisingly well. I did. It always happens now because I'm old. I take a shower, and when I'm soaping up my wet, naked body, I feel all the pain because you don't know because you're not touching it. And then you're like, ooh, that's a soft sore spot. Ooh, and it's just like your whole body.
Shoulders and ribs are the big one
I have
today.
all these weird bruises on my arms.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the biggest thing. It's going to shows now. I definitely am feeling myself getting older at every show. And even like I said, I get so much anxiety waiting for it because I don't like being with 3,000 or even 1,000 people is scary. Like that's just too many people for one place. And then they're all pushing, and I like always like get like anxiety and a mild panic attack waiting where I'm like, so many things go wrong. You're gonna get trampled to death, like everything, or it just could be too much. And I'm like, how long am I gonna realistically be able to do this?
Right.
You know what I mean? Every show, I'm like, God, it's taxing. And now I used to go to shows like when I was Kurt's age. I like woke up the next day, felt fucking great.
Oh yeah, no. I think we actually talked about this on the drive home. You and I, we were just kind of like, yeah, we're old. We're the old guys at the shows now. But at least we know how to. But see, we know how to prep. We like get the right shoes and the clothes. We bring extra clothes. You know, we
that
know
extra
what we're
shirt,
doing. That is a game changer.
If you go to a show and it's going to be a rowdy show, Kurd did this at a show we seen, and it's a game changer. Keep an extra shirt. I ended up just switching my undershirt because it was soaking wet and putting on a fresh, clean shirt.
Feels so good.
Oh my God. I think that's what gave me the energy to dance my ass off for 3 more hours.
Man, we literally did dance our asses off for 3 hours.
I got incredibly drunk at that place.
Yes, you did.
Don't know how.
It was all the beers.
I only had 2 beers.
No, you did not have just 2 beers.
Yeah, I had their special, which was a Hams. It was $2.50. I was under the assumption it was going to be a tall boy. It wasn't. I don't want to drink a 12-ounce can in a bar or a club.
Looks weird.
Yeah, it looks weird. I'm going to drink it too quick. Like,
yeah,
I'll pay more just to not deal with it. Then I got a PBR. Then I got a bunch of mixed drinks.
Yeah, that's where it was.
So, yeah, I only had 2 beers.
Yeah, 2 beers, technically. How many drinks?
I don't know, because then they said last call, and I had 3/4 of a drink, and I was like, I don't need another drink. And I was like, what did I say? Of course I'm going to get another drink. Yeah. And then I think Matt just took the other. I was like, hold this while I get another drink. And I think he just took it. So I was like, fine. And then, yeah, I was doing pretty good. Except I was so fucking hungry.
Yeah.
So then, so we get back to Kurt's house, where my car was. He went to just go drive around and smoke cigarettes.
It was beautiful. Didn't even go inside to like sleep. Just like, I got to drive around and smoke some cigarettes.
Which I feel that a lot. And then, me and you and Matt, I dropped Matt off. I took you home. I was just a weird person.
Yeah.
I'd been up almost 24 hours.
Did you stop and get some food at least?
I did. I had to stop at McDonald's. I haven't eaten fast food in like 2 or 3 weeks. I'm trying to not to because it's just fucking gross. And I was like, I need to eat something. So I went to McDonald's. I'm in the drive-thru, 5 a.m. And there's a car in front of me and a minivan in front of them. I look at the minivan on the back real big, like how people write when cars are dirty, wrote I heart and a huge dick. I was trying so bad to get a picture because I'm like, this is the perfect end. It's just like I heart just massive, like really realistic, veiny bastard on the back of this van. And I'm like, they clearly have no idea. They had like Iowa plates. Like they've probably been just driving around different states with a big veiny monster dick.
Good.
And I got 2 sausage egg biscuits, no cheese. Don't put cheese on my sausage egg biscuits.
It's weird.
2 hash browns and a milk. I needed something, I don't know what. And
a milk?
yeah, I don't know, man. And it was good. The milk was good. Everything was incredible. And every time I eat McDonald's, it makes me feel so sick. But like I was driving, smashing this, and I'm like, this is so good. Like while you're eating it, and then 5 minutes later, I was like, I feel like absolute shit.
Yeah.
And then the drive home, I was like, I'm so tired. I was doing that thing where you're not actually nodding off, but it's like that same feeling, but your eyes are open and you're awake, but it's like that feeling.
It's
like
that highway
and
hypnosis.
Then it's like, what the fuck is going on? And I was so close to home. I'm like, I just need green lights. I don't want to stop. I just want to be home. And I pulled in, and I was like, fucking thank God. And I went inside, and I like literally collapsed into my bed. I was just like, I'm fucking done.
Yeah.
And now we get to do that in a week. And we stay in Madison, and then there's a day 2.
Yeah, so this time next week, we will be headed home, maybe? Still doing shit?
We'll still be there, yeah.
Okay.
Because Saturday, there's a free Cool Kids concert.
Yeah, which we have to go to.
Yeah. Because shit's weird. Like, we get lucky.
We get insanely lucky
so
in
we're gonna
life.
be in
Well,
Madison.
think about this. We saw Brockhampton. You got 2 free drinks. Everything was just very lucky yesterday. Everything just worked out really well.
Like,
our life is great.
One time I went to the rave. It was me and Matt and my other buddy. Or no, 2 of my friends. And the one kid was driving. We left like this area. We get on the highway. I don't even think we were to Beloit yet. Blew a tire. Ugh. So I, like a true dad, got out there, ripped that tire off, changed it, put the spare on, going. And then we're like, his spare was not good. So we stopped at like a Walmart, and then I think across the street there's like a Farm and Fleet, and neither of them had the tire. And they were like, even if we had the tire, like it's going to take, like we were already on a time crunch. And then we're like, fuck it. So we air it up, we get on the road, and we're like maybe halfway to Milwaukee, and the spare goes. And like literally we were going to see Earl Sweatshirt with Chance the Rapper and Vince Staples, but it was one of the times I've missed Vince Staples 4 times now. That was the first time I missed him, and that was way back. Like Chance, it was Vince Staples, then Chance, then Earl, then Mac Miller, which we didn't stay for.
Yeah.
And this was like back when Chance was like not even well known. And we wanted to see Chance and Earl so bad. And like literally when that second tire blew, I thought we were all going to actually cry because it was just so devastating. We were like so decently close. And then I remember another friend of mine was going, and I'm like, call him immediately. And I'm like, are you going to the rave? And she was like, yeah, I'm on the road right now, me and my boyfriend. And I was like, where are you? And she was like, she was behind where we were. And I was like, what are you driving? And she's like, a minivan. And I'm like, could you pick us up on the side of the road? And she's like, of course I can.
Yes.
And then like 20 minutes later, I was like, you'll see it. We're like right by a big Walmart, and like where the black car broken down on the side of the road. Like you'll see it. And literally when they pulled up behind us, I was like, this is fucking like a movie.
Like how else? Like that's perfect.
Got in there. We were drinking in the back of the minivan, like so comfortable. Got to the rave, parked, walked right in, went upstairs, drank, came down. Chance was playing. It was like, I have times like that where I'm like, my life is like a fucking movie.
Yeah.
Because to go from like blowing 2 tires and then just have a minivan just scoop you up.
There was several instances yesterday that I felt were very movie-esque. There was that one moment that I was like, oh, yeah. Life is a simulation.
Yeah, I feel like that's a lot of it.
And it was in the very middle of the show too, which leads me to believe life is a simulation. You know, I can't remember what song was playing. I can't remember what was going on. I just know in that moment I was like, this is all fake. Nothing's real.
I think that a lot nowadays.
Nothing this good can be real.
But yeah, that's what I mean. So we have been planning to go see Prof for a while now. Today, if you're listening to this. And then the next day he's like hanging out in town doing whatever. So we were like, we might as well stick around. Like we'll get the hotel for the first night, and then we'll play the second night by ear, see what happens. And then I'm just perusing Facebook events. And it's a fucking free Cool Kids show.
Yeah.
The night that we don't have specific plans. So it's like, yeah, we'll go
Why
see the Cool
fuck
Kids
not?
for
Yeah.
free. Like, Shit
Like
just
I
falls
can't think
under
of a
us.
song by them I can sing off the top of my head, but for free, why the
Black
fuck?
Mags.
I know it, but like
Yeah.
I can't. I don't like know it.
Yeah, I saw them at that Fake Shore thing. They played a couple songs. It's good. Yeah, I'm not like a tremendous fan, but a free
For
cool
free?
kid show. Like I
Get
see
drunk,
a lot
go
of.
see the cool kids for free.
I've seen worse free rappers in Madison.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna be wild. So again, text us or tweet at us or contact us. See what we're up to. There'll be plenty of shenanigans, and we'll let you know. Unless we get too drunk, which is what happened. Shout out to all the tweets and snaps I didn't get to respond to because Daddy got lost a little
Daddy
bit.
got way too fucked
Daddy
up.
got in and out. Like, cause how many drinks would you say I had at the bar before? I think I tied on a couple.
It was like 3 beers. 3 beers, a big vodka Red Bull.
Mm-hmm.
2 big vodka Red Bull.
Yeah, technically.
Like 5 beers.
Is this like stars where you're just like,
No, I'm trying to figure out.
I started with a beer.
At least 4 beers in the vodka Red Bull.
Probably. I also had a vodka lemonade.
Yeah.
Two vodka Red Bulls.
So,
Vodka lemonade.
And were they doubles?
Of course they
So
were.
4 shots of vodka with 4 or 5 beers.
I mean, it's something in that ballpark and a shot of Jameson.
Yeah, and the shot of JMO. Yeah, you were feeling pretty good by
And that
the
was
time.
just at that bar.
Yeah, that, and then a PBR with lunch, and then a PBR at the brewery,
Mm-hmm.
and then
A spotted cow with debris in it at Conway's.
yep, and then
So fast math, I had a couple drinks.
Yeah.
I had one at the rave too, but they just,
$9 a beer. Was that right?
I don't remember buying it, but yeah, I know it was $9 a beer. I just kept
Heartbreaking.
spilling it. It was like, I don't know.
Super spillable cups.
Yeah.
Like they charge you $9 and they put them in
It's
those
like-
flimsy cups.
It's like they want
the
you
worst
to pour
market.
them down.
It's like they want you to lose all your beer, so you have to go back and buy another one.
Yeah,
or
it's
something.
like it's set up or something. Yeah, I just remember I have like snaps where I'm just like, these beers are just spilling everywhere. And that was when we were just stationary up on the balcony area.
A lot of good pictures from the balcony.
Yeah, it is a very, like, yeah, if you go to the rave and you have the opportunity, it's essentially like the roof and you can just look out. That's a great, like, especially if it's like an earlier show or like when it doesn't get dark so early and I watch the sunset. And at a Ambassador Hotel where Jeffrey Dahmer has maybe killed a victim or he stayed there. I don't remember the details. But yeah, it's just a beautiful space, especially when it's nice out when it's not so fucking cold.
Yeah.
But also fuck the rave. But yeah, that'll be a good time. I'm excited to see how you can handle Madison.
We'll find out in a week.
Because see, we're staying in Madison, so we got to wake up and be chipper the next morning. And then go do things all day long. The Dapper Dad's going a 2-week bender.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's going to be exciting. So yeah, get at us. I hope you enjoyed this very thorough recap. Do we have anything else?
I don't know.
Any parting words?
I kind of hope somebody from Brockhampton listens to this so that they can realize how big fans we are. Maybe we can get them on the show.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you got the rare invite. Anyone from Brockhampton.
Literally anyone from
Yeah.
Brockhampton could be on the show.
Yeah. I feel like they're never going to hear this. But
who-
we love you. I mean, there's a lot more opportunities than your average rapper or band. There's 18 people.
Yeah, exactly. So
we'll
who knows?
take anyone.
Maybe
Someone.
maybe when we put the hashtags when we're promoting this, somebody will see it. and-
Yeah, hey, everybody send this to Brockhampton somehow.
Yes, somehow send this show to Brockhampton. If you know people or know somebody who's affiliated with them, let Brockhampton know that we love them and we want every single one of them on the show.
Yeah, we'll do a live Dapper Dad's performance of Star 15 times in the dungeon.
I don't know what you don't understand how bad I would freak out if we got like an email from them and they were just like, yeah, we'll do it. We'll be on your show. And we're just like, okay, well,
Yeah, we got to clean up the dungeon.
Yeah, we got to clean up the dungeon a little bit, make it a bit more presentable for 18 dudes.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, could you imagine the video and we're all just crowded around
Can you
us?
imagine? Yeah, can you imagine all of them just crowded around us and we're like, we didn't think this was actually going to happen, but here we are, so we're going to roll with it. Brockhampton, everybody, here in the studio today.
Bum, 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 ba-da-dum, dum. Every time
Okay,
we
if
ask
there's
them a
18
question,
of them, that's 9 and 9, so there have to be 9 crowded around
Fast
you
math.
and 9 crowded around me.
yeah, it'll be like picking teams in middle
Oh,
school.
that'll be great. And then we can have like a drama versus Slim Brockhampton battle to star.
So, yeah,
Dun, 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 dun,
everything's
dun,
the star. My dreams and nightmares are to star
Just
now.
Brockhampton walking around here just
Yeah.
being like, got anything to eat?
Like, no,
We're like, no, we didn't prep for this.
yeah, we never thought
We
this
didn't
could
think
happen.
anyone was actually going to respond.
Yeah, no, we didn't think anyone listened to this in general.
For what it's worth, yeah, man. If we can man, just to fuck with Brockhampton, that'd be so good. That'd be so tight.
Yeah, I mean, anyone.
Kevin did give me the finger and a kissy face last night at one point, which I appreciate.
That's nice. You guys have a
That's
very
probably
strong bond.
Oh, I hope we do someday. Me and Kevin, man, someday.
Which star was that?
I think it was the first one, like the actual first
Oh,
star in
all
the set,
right.
like the first one they played.
Wow, that one seems like many moons ago.
Yeah.
After all the stars. I want someone who's listening to this, no idea who Brockhampton is, and they're like, "What the fuck is Star?" Is this?
And then they
we were
look
never
into
like
it and
the
they
song
listen to
Star. They're just like, no, what is this, like a visual behind them? There's a lot of stars. Were you
just
seeing
stars
stars
everywhere.
like a cartoon duck that got hit with a bat? You're right.
Yeah, it just aches everywhere. I'll be fine.
I'll give you a rub down.
Oh, perfect.
All right, folks. Well, thanks for listening to a very thorough recap. Just wait for the next one when we recap another thing.
Yeah, we're going to recap Madison, Prof, all kinds of good shit.
And then after that, 2 episodes out, we're going to recap these recaps.
Yeah, it's going to be good. We're going to have a clip show for you of the recaps.
Please, God, I can't wait to drop a clip show
Someday.
And fucking
We might have to do it after Prof, because when are we going to get to record after Prof?
Yeah, we'll have to.
We'll figure it out.
Sunday.
I got to work Sunday.
Set it up at work.
All right, we'll do what we got to do.
I just come in. I come in like when outside of the court, when they get out and they're like, talk about the trial. How do you feel everything went? I just come in with like a camera and a microphone. I'm like, Simon Stroma, we do a podcast together.
And I'm like, I'm going to Stella.
Yeah.
I feel like Matthew McConaughey. I don't care for what they got to say.
I just, all the references, I'm like, do you feel like Matthew McConaughey?
I don't care for what they got to say.
Do you feel like the Black Tom Hanks? No.
No, well, I can't say the next line. You can call me Banks.
Yeah. Do you feel like Secret Agent Cody Banks?
Quarter pound of the dank.
Yep. All right, folks. Go to www.thedapperdads.com for everything.
Literally
Dapper Dads Podcast
everything.
at
Buy
gmail.com.
some merch. Watch some videos.
Please buy some merch. We had some orders. Everyone says once they've received the orders, it's better than any other material possession they've ever owned.
True story.
Yeah, it's incredible. Yeah, so buy some shit. We got mugs and shirts. We got more shit coming. 4027 Dapper, 402-732-7737 for anything, everything. Yeah, just check your phone while we're recording.
This is
episode.
worth it.
Yeah, sure. Anyway, yeah, come fuck with us. I don't know what we're doing. Have a good one.
Have a good one, guys.